Good morning, and I'm back with another superfood for today. And welcome back for the best that you can do for your health and superfoods to supercharge your mornings. So this is Dr. Shilpi, and we're going to talk about a very good superfood today. Yes, we're going to talk about tomatoes. And why I call tomatoes as superfood is it's extremely beneficial. Why there are a lot of benefits of tomatoes are, when you have to talk about tomatoes, it is not only about the nutritional component of tomatoes that we are more interested in. It is how much as a dietary component that it gives to us is really important. And when we have to talk about tomatoes, it's my favorite because it's really affordable. Not in the sense of pricing. It is affordable because anybody and everybody can grow tomatoes at home. It's a very harsh, vegetable plant which grows anywhere. And you just cut a ripe tomato and put it into soil. You get tomato plants within no time, and they grow as a vine, they grow as a small plant. If you give them support and you give them some twine and give them nice anchoring, they keep giving you tomatoes again and again. And you should be knowing that tomatoes are our major source of food in our diet also. There is no day where there is no use of a tomato. Still, in such situations, because of the costing, at times in summers it goes to scratch height 100 rupees. People get worried that tomatoes have increased so much in price. It might not be accessible for poor people, but they are the most determined people. If they want to grow them in house, it's the best plant to add to your garden, and it keeps giving you tomatoes again and again. And it is one of the fruit or vegetable. There's always been a dilemma that is tomato a fruit or a vegetable. But even if tomatoes are fruits, because their linkage and lineage towards the culinary aspect, that we use them for cooking, they have been classified as a vegetable. So these can be actually cooked and preserved, pickled and preserved. So there's a lot of sustainable angle to tomatoes, and nothing goes waste in tomatoes. So even if tomatoes are not affordable in certain times of the year, you can always store it in some form or the other, either in the form of a sauce or a jam or pickle or any such things. It has got very long shelf life with minimum preservatives, and it lasts very long. Even you can use tomato paste, dehydrated tomatoes in your curries and paste, and tomato pickle tastes wow. So this is our side of what we call as the uses of tomatoes. And then why I called tomatoes as a superfood is it is a major source of dietary lycopene, which is a powerful antioxidant. And lycopene has a great role in decreasing the heart disease risk. It decreases cancer. And tomatoes per se are a very good source of vitamin C, potassium, folate and vitamin K. So these many vitamins in one single power punched vegetable called tomato. And when you have to talk about tomatoes, I have bought some varieties. The yellow ones before ripening, the green one, and these are the red ones. So every color has its own link and relationship to one kind of a vitamin and one kind of a linkage to health. And we have these smaller cherry tomatoes which look so beautiful. They are extremely flavorful and very tasty when you use it in salads, and also very tasty when you use it as such in your daily rasam and all that. And we have another shape and size of tomatoes, wherein we have these elongated ones which are used basically in salads, and just to eat like that also. They have lots and lots of flavor, and they taste very yummy. So I'm at Urban Kisan, and we here have varieties and colors and ranges of tomatoes, because tomato is very important for health. We have different types of tomatoes. This is the traditional tomato, the natto tomato, what we call in Hyderabad or this side of the region, which is the most used one for its tanginess, for its taste and flavor. This is the Bangalore tomato that we call, which is the hybrid one, which is used for its subtleness and little sweetness, which is also very useful for soups, salads, and curries and pastes and your sauces. So that is as far as the daily uses of tomatoes. These are really tasteful, and my choice has always been for these tiny ones. They come like bunches of grapes on a vine kind of a thing, so they look also very good. I could not mobilize my tomato plant in the house because it was quite big and I couldn't carry it, so I did not get one. But yes, even I have tomato plants in my balcony garden, and they are extremely tasty and very good. And the color in the tomatoes is linked to the chlorophyll and the carotenoids. Directly it has got relationship with vitamin A. So these carotenoids and chlorophyll, they convert into vitamin A, especially the green one, the orange one and the red one, they convert into vitamin A. So why is tomato a superfood for me? Because there are so many expensive forms of superfood which are really not practical for everybody, but tomato, touch wood, it is really practical for any category of people, any grade of people, available all throughout the year. There are no restrictions, and literally there are so many people who like tomatoes. There are very few who do not like, and there are absolutely very few who have allergic to tomatoes. Yes, there is a documented allergy to tomatoes. It happens to people who are already allergic to pollen and latex. So these two things, if you are allergic to, you're likely to have allergy to tomatoes also. But it is a very rare thing. So tomatoes is all about health, and tomatoes are very healthy and nutritious. What does tomato have in it? So that way, looking forward, tomato is 95% water and 5% of carbohydrates and fiber. Yes, there's a lot more of fiber in tomato. That is why as a source of water, as a source of carbohydrates, as a source of fiber, I ask pregnant women to have a lot of tomatoes as a salad, as cooking, part and parcel of the cooking, because this not only gives you that hydration that is needed, especially in the first trimester when you have so much of vomitings and all that, it also gives you a lot more of fiber to treat constipation. So it's really important. Tomatoes are very rich in water, carbohydrates and fiber. To an angle which you don't know, tomatoes have protein also. So there is about 0.9 to 1 gram of protein in about 100 grams of tomato. So even they are a source of protein. So it's like a wholesome meal. Carbohydrates, proteins, and a lot of vitamins, minerals and nutrition. When you drizzle some kind of an oil on it, it enhances the absorption of all these vitamins and minerals and all these. So always, whenever you are having tomatoes in salads or anything, that is the reason why they drizzle olive oil or any oil like sesame oil to enhance the absorption of its vitamins. And today we're going to talk everything about tomatoes and how healthy tomatoes are. And it is important that feasible vegetables, when you talk about sustainability, feasible vegetables which are linked to local farmers and local available fruits and vegetables, that we should encourage. And going forward, 100 grams of tomatoes have 18 calories. So it's low in calories and rich in nutrition. So anybody who is dieting or not dieting, absolutely good for them. And 3.9 grams of carbohydrates, basically glucose, fructose is 70% of the carbohydrates. That is a sugar of 2.6 grams, fiber of 1.2 grams, which is usually hemicellulose and cellulose and lignin, which is treatment for constipation. So tomatoes are really, really good for constipation. Not only constipation, they give you that healthy gut. So healthy gut is really, really important when you have to talk about tomatoes. And when you talk about tomatoes, automatically you talk about the vitamins that tomatoes give you, especially the vitamin C, which is a very powerful antioxidant. And one tomato of a smaller size can give you 28% of your required daily allowance of your vitamin C. And tomatoes are rich in vitamin K, which is very, very important in blood clotting and bone health. People don't know one point is vitamin K helps in stronger bones, especially deposition of calcium into the bones. So this vitamin in tomatoes helps in it has got a lot of benefits in blood clotting and also bone health. The potassium in this fruit or vegetable per se helps in regulation of your blood pressure. It is very cardioprotective. It is very good for your heart. So coming forward, knowing so many benefits of tomatoes, that tomorrow onwards you should include at least 1 or 2 tomatoes in a day, so that it's more beneficial for your health. And the folate that is there in tomatoes is so good for women who are planning pregnancies, women who are pregnant, women who have delivered, because folate per se, it's B9 vitamin. It helps in tissue growth, cell function, and prevention of congenital abnormalities in children. So folate is extremely, extremely beneficial. And the lycopene and folate in tomatoes is really, really good for anybody who's planning a child. So it's one of the major sources of dietary folate. So tomatoes are widely used, and anybody who comes for preconceptional counseling or preconceptional preconceptional visit to me, I always ask them to have this colored vegetables, which are very rich in vitamins, folic acid, lycopene, vitamin C, and all these things, which really help in egg quality. When you have to talk about egg quality, every antioxidant giving vegetable, fruit, cereals or anything, they have extremely beneficial effect on the quality of egg and conception rates. First trimester, there's a lot of need of folate for pregnant women, and tomatoes have a little tangy taste that goes very well when you have those different tastes that come into your mouth, and really it helps people with a lot of vomiting, to take control of the vomitings and all that. So, and it is so much of refreshing and hydrating also. It prevents dehydration. So folate in tomatoes and additional things definitely help each and every segment of population, be it a kid, be it elders, be it pregnant women, be it pre-pregnancy, and all these. And children also love them for their taste. The only thing is you have to mix in such a way that their taste enhances, and you have to give them in such a way that it is more attractive, so that they will at least go for it and taste it. Most of the times the foods that we give aren't that good looking, so they just go away from it. But if you give something very interesting looking, and you make some shapes and sizes and forms and teach them and give them some kind of an extra kick into it, especially for kids who are not eating fruits and vegetables, then it makes a real difference. And going further, we talk about other vitamins and minerals that are there in tomatoes, like lycopene, which is the red pigment. It is a very potent antioxidant, and it is very high in your juices, in your paste, in your pasta paste, in your ketchups, in your sauces, which you can make it at home. Absolutely, it is not a tedious process. Tomatoes and tomato byproducts can actually be made at home, and they taste very good. There are so many people who give you that kind of an input on how to prepare these things. We will eventually have a lot of videos on how to prepare small things which are going to be beneficial on your pocket, and rather than buying them from the market with preservatives and increasing the carbon footprint. So locally, whenever we have availability, we can make them and keep, and non-season also we will be able to have them, especially when the prices are going up. And about the beta carotene in the tomatoes is the yellow pigment, the orange color hue that comes in. This is a very rich source of vitamin A, because beta carotene transforms into vitamin A in our body. And there is another component called narraganin in tomatoes, which is mostly in the tomato skin, which is a flavonoid which decreases inflammation. So chronic inflammatory conditions like clogging of arteries in the heart, arthritis, and so many chronic inflammation conditions of the gut, bowel, body, so many autoimmune anti-inflammatory conditions, tomatoes work as an anti-inflammatory. And long-term intake definitely controls so many of these problems. And the chlorogenic acid that is available in tomatoes decreases the high blood pressure. So it is even beneficial for cardiac patients with the high blood pressure. Definitely it has extremely a very good lowering effect of blood pressures. And people say that for kids it is okay, if it is tomato then I can give ketchup. There is a wrong message that is going into the market, that ketchups and things that are made of tomatoes are very rich in the lycopene content and the vitamin C content and all that. So you should promote eating them. But I say that ketchup cannot be had in so much of a volume. So volumes can be had only of fresh fruit and vegetable, the tomato. So if you have to talk about the benefits, one tomato can, if 100 grams of ketchup gives 10 to 14 grams of lycopene, or 100 grams of tomato gives only 1 to 8 grams of lycopene, you just can't have 100 grams of ketchup. It is loaded in sugar. So naturally you should opt for something which is low sugar and more nutritious, and that is eating fresh tomatoes, or tomatoes when we cook then and there in the house, rather than eating things that are even though they are rich in the lycopene and the antioxidants and all these things, they are practically not very good for taking in volumes, because they are also added with preservatives and they are loaded with sugar. So the take home message is eat fresh. Don't rely on canned, tinned and preserved foods. That's really important. We also have to think about the carbon footprint. We should not increase when we are having locally grown fruits and vegetables. And when you have to talk about the benefits of lycopene, fat in the diet increases its absorption. So that's why anytime that we use or eat tomatoes, we add some kind of a fat into it. And low lycopene and low beta carotene has shown to increase heart attacks, strokes. So definitely a diet rich in lycopene and beta carotenes is going to go in the long run and give you that beneficial effects. And there is so much more of lycopene advantages that it decreases the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. So you have the cholesterol lowering effect, and it is a very potent anti-inflammatory agent, and there is lots of advantages of tomatoes in cancer protection. It is shown to, lycopene and tomatoes are shown to decrease lung cancers, stomach cancers and prostate cancers. And carotenoids, which are available in tomatoes, basically are very beneficial in prevention of breast cancer. So that's a tip for women, especially when they don't take care of their health. Somehow they give priority to family health. At least have some tomatoes every day, so you have the cancer protective effect. So that's really important. And locally also we use tomatoes in so many beauty regimes as a tan reducing agent. Tomatoes, if you have adequate tomatoes, you have lesser sunburn. It's all documented with evidence. So tomatoes, if you have sunburn, you cut a tomato and you rub it. It has a healing effect for sunburn also. And tomatoes per se have been used as a mask, a peel, a vitalizing agent for the face and body also. And when you talk about tomatoes, you have to naturally ripen them. They naturally ripen when you pluck green tomatoes. You can wrap it with a newspaper and keep it in a shelf and keep checking for their ripeness. Industrial use, when there is large scale production of tomatoes, they use ethylene for ripening of tomatoes, which is really harmful. So artificial ripening agents have to be noticed, and it is always better that you get the non-ripened tomatoes home, so that you are sure that they are not they're not using ethylene for ripening. So in stores like Urban Kisan, where they usually sell the non-ripened tomatoes or the naturally ripened tomatoes, you should always prefer this angle, because there are so many disadvantages of artificial ripening agents on your health. And there are so many delicacies and cooking regimes that run with tomatoes. But one small tip that I can give you: if everybody can have tomato juice in the morning or eat raw tomatoes as a salad, it will definitely help. One portion, so around 250 ml of tomato juice, if you can have it with beets, with cucumber, or with other vegetables as a combination, with celery that is available here. So there are so many things that you can mix it up and have it. It is so nutritious that it gives you your required daily allowance of lycopene, vitamin C, extremely healthy, extremely rich in fiber, nutrition. So it is a wholesome food, especially when people are hungry and they don't want to eat anything. I suggest them at least eat 2-3 tomatoes, so that it will be filling, it doesn't cause constipation, and it hydrates your body. And especially for women with a lot of vomitings and all, you should try tomatoes, because they are little tangy and you can add on any flavors to it to improve its appealing, to improve its satiety and taste to your tongue. So this is all about tomatoes today. They are superfoods according to me, because of its availability, because of its practicality, because of its health benefits, and because of its wide application. So eat fresh, eat nutritious, and always concentrate on your health. So tomorrow again we will have another session on the next superfood, and I'm not going to tell you about it until tomorrow morning, and you have to wait for it.